I apologize. I got cut off there a little bit. Like I said before, we're in a farm. So my husband called me because there was a problem with the fish tanks. So I had to go assist him there. Sorry about that. So yes, after I bathed with that herb that was very itchy, and I went outside to try and dry myself in the sun, but there was also another mistake because the sun made it much more itchy. So then I was scratching and itchy, and there's flies everywhere around the place, and I started freaking out. I started freaking out because one, I'm itchy, I don't understand what's happening to me. Two, there's flies everywhere, and this phobia that I have is already kicking in, and I started crying, and all that just became too much for me, and I started crying. So when I cried like that, one of the trainees thought that I am like in a trance, like maybe my ancestor has come or something like that. And she went and ran into the house and called the trainer, which is called Ukobela. And the trainer came and they found me crying and scratching and what. And they said, okay, let's set up. It's time to do Ukajeka. It's time for us to do Ukajeka. And they prepared everything so fast in this small room. They closed the curtains to be dark because it was still during the day. Apparently, it's supposed to be done late evening, but they said, I'm ready. So they made the windows very dark and they put a grass mat on the floor. They told me to take off my top. I was only left with basically the bottoms, the red skirt. That's what trainees wear. They wear red and white, so I was left with the red skirt. I was made to sit down and given instructions. And guess what? Now everybody is full, everybody's around you. You're sitting in the center, in the middle of the room, and everybody is there. They are now singing and hitting drums so loud. Everything was just too much. Everything's just so loud and it's confusing. And I'm just not myself at all. And they're telling me these instructions now that, okay, you're going to sit straight like this, stretch your legs out, and we're going to cover you with a white sheet and we're going to bend. Basically, they were going to smoke me. So they're going to bend this herb and then close it, put it under the sheet, the white sheet, where basically I'll be steaming with it. Don't know the better way to describe it. And then they said, when that happens, then I must scream. Scream as loud as you can. You must scream, scream. And then when you scream, you'll see your ancestors will come. And whatever you hear from them, it's what you tell us. Like, okay, they do this. They put the smoke. The smoke is no joke. It's like so much smoke, you can actually suffocate. Then they shut down the sheet, the white sheet. And the worst thing is that they hold it down. So there's people around you, there are fellow trainees, they are around you, and they push this sheet down because they know human instinct. When you feel like you're suffocating, you're going to want to pull the sheet over yourself and just breathe. So they close it. They make sure that they close every corner. You can't breathe. And now, one, you're screaming. How can you scream when there's smoke? So you're screaming, the smoke goes in, you're choking. Two, you don't understand why they are telling you that you must keep screaming and then your ancestors will come. Three, there's drums. They are hitting drums. They are singing. They are clapping. And the trainees around you keep telling you to scream. They keep screaming at your ear because they feel like you're not screaming enough. And how on earth are you going to scream enough when you're already suffocating? That was one of the first bad experiences for me. And they kept hitting the drum, scream, scream, screaming in my ears, screaming in my ears. And nothing was happening. Nothing, absolutely nothing was happening. And then they would stop and give me my instructions again. No, you're not being serious. You're not being serious. You must scream loud. You must listen to the instructions. They bend this thing again, and then I'm inside again. Second round, nothing. I'm screaming. I don't feel any presence. I don't feel anything. I'm just feeling like I'm dying because of the smoke. The drums, everything is just too much. And I'm still itchy. And then second round, nothing. They do it again. Third round, they still smoke me. Oh my gosh, they still smoke me. And they shut down. And I keep trying to pull this sheet and I can't because 5 people are around me holding it down. 10 other people are around singing. 3 other people are there hitting drums in this small tiny room. So you can imagine the heat and everything. This went on. Third round, nothing. I was like, you know what? Woman, Noma, if you don't want to die inside this thing under this sheet with the smoke, you better come up with something. And because now the Gobela keeps saying to me, any name, anything that you hear, even if you see a vision of something, if you see a mountain, say it's a mountain. If you see something, just say it, because I think she was also getting frustrated. So I was like, okay, think. And then I thought of something quickly and I said the name. And the reason I thought of something is because one of the people there, one of the trainees, they had a similar name. So I thought of something a little bit similar but a little bit different. So I was like, okay, let me give this name. And I just said it, something to do with the sun. I just said it because they already hinted to me that you can, if you see a mountain, say a mountain. If you see a river, say a river. That's why I guess most of the sangomas have the same name. Most of them they'll have the same name. Nyoka yamanzi, bodla watwat, intaba yenzani. They always have the similar names. So I just said that name, and then they celebrated. They celebrated, yeah, clapping, ululating, welcome, welcome, Zwatwad. I won't give the name. What can I say? Maybe let me say the name is Rivers, just for this podcast. So congratulations, Rivers. You're welcome. You're welcome. So what do you want, Rivers? What do you want? What do you want from this child of yours? What must she do? What is she coming to train for? I'm like, okay, I thought I was done. Now I still need to answer questions. I started, I'm sorry, I started speaking in tongues. I don't know where that came from. Up to today, I don't know. I don't know if it was my survival mode or instinct. I just started speaking in tongues. And nobody understood me. And guess what? They all believed I was in a trance. So they thought maybe my ancestor is a foreign ancestor. And they kept trying. Like I could hear them. What is that? What is that word? Is that Portuguese? Is that what? Is that what? So they concluded that my ancestor is Umdao, which is a foreign ancestor. That was it. That's how I survived that first day. And then I was supposed to be taken to the river to go bath because every initiate, when you arrive, you have to be taken to the river to go bath. And now they have to bath you with a chicken. They have to slaughter a chicken over you while we are inside the river. So I was already told by other initiates that I must prepare to buy a live chicken. The next day, when my govela says, okay, we are going. I'm like, okay, Gogo, where are we going to buy the chicken? She's like, no, we're not buying a chicken for you. I'm like, but everybody said they bought chickens, you bathed them with chickens. And she said to me, no, I got a stern warning. I got a warning last night in my visions. Your people don't want me to use blood on you, to even bath you with blood. So I don't want to risk that. So I was like, okay. So we left, we went to the river. I was drowned. I was drowned. When three people from back, front, side, they just don't give you a break. They have these 20-liter buckets and they throw water at you. And guess what? The river is moving. It's a very powerful river, but they still throw water at you. And that was the second thing. I was like, oh my gosh, did I really sign up for this? Did I really sign up for this? But you know what? At this point, I was like, I'm in it. If I need to do this so that my children will be okay, if I need to do this so that I can get myself again, get my life again, so that we can live and breathe, I will do anything. At this point, I was ready. Then they drowned me and then we finished. I won't go through the daily, but basically, we wake up early. I think we used to wake up at 12 midnight to go around to the house. In prayer we pray, and then at 3 o'clock we wake up to scream, and there's neighbors. We wake up to scream and call the ancestors. For me, I could never. I would scream, but nobody ever arrived. But then I learned that, okay, you know what, if you can't beat them, you join them. So I would also scream and I would run, because once you feel like the ancestors have arrived, you have to run and run. I don't know why they're running. Maybe they were activating the ancestors. So I used to just join in, because I can't keep screaming when everybody's ancestors are already there. And I remember there was a neighbor, next door neighbor. Every time, that lady never got tired. Every time when she used to hear us at 3 a.m. screaming, she would come outside and she would start praying. She would start praying and rebuking and praying and rebuking. And this side, everybody will be like so angry and insulting her that, leave us alone. We don't judge you with your Christianity. Why are you judging us? That was one of the funny things that used to happen. She never got tired. She never honestly got tired, that lady. It was day in, day out. When it's 3 o'clock, she's there. The only day we never woke up at 3 was on a Saturday, Saturday night, Sunday morning. We didn't wake up. That's when we got a break. But basically, and also the chores. There's chores there. You have to clean. You have to wash dishes. Some wash the Gobela's clothes. I just chose one job and I stuck to that job. And the job was to wash dishes. Basically, I became a dishwasher. They called me the dishwasher. And I was fine with that, because I was not planning to be cleaning after people. I was not planning to be cooking for anybody. And I also was not planning to be washing clothes for a full grown woman. I'm not a maid, I'm there for training. So, and the respect, the level of respect, everybody has to run around. They have to go buy cigarettes for the Kobela. She wants energy drinks, alcohol, and the drinking. I don't know what's with the alcohol. There's so much alcohol when it comes to ubungoma. I don't know why. Up to today, I honestly don't know why they say it's ancestors. So I don't know, because I've never had that encounter basically where an ancestor came and told me that I must drink, smoke, because most of them they either smoke snuff, which is it's called insu, or taxi. Some of them smoke cigarette, and a lot of them drink alcohol. I didn't do either of those things. So then, yeah, the days went by. I was just taking along, taking along. But then my dreams now, when I was inside, they started changing. I would see myself not there. I would see myself. The one time I dreamt that I was not wearing the red skirt, and a red skirt is a must. It's a must. You cannot be a trainee and not wear a red skirt. It's like who you are. They even call trainees, you want a red skirt, like basically like, yay, come here. So I dreamt I wasn't wearing the red skirt, and I was panicking and looking for it everywhere. I couldn't find it, and I was so stressed that the Govela is gonna shout at me. I woke up, I told the Govela, because you're supposed to tell the Govela your dreams. I like, you know what, Govela, I didn't find my, I dreamt I couldn't find my skirt, what. She just kept quiet and said, okay, let's see. And then she didn't say anything. And many other dreams that I had, other dreams I would see my people outside of the gate of the place. Other times I would just see myself leaving the place. So then, and also financially, I'm not okay. My kids are just on survival mode. And at this point, I was not even allowed to speak to them. And plus, I didn't bring a smartphone. I just brought a small phone, so that I thought, okay, let me focus. Let me not be on social media. Let me just use a small phone to focus. So I hardly ever spoke to my family. And then eventually I was like, you know what, financially I'm struggling. I can't even, they contribute towards food. It's a struggle for me to even contribute towards food. So I said, if I'm here, and there's a place where you go to speak to your ancestors every day. So I would go there and be like, but I am here. I'm here, guys. I'm doing the sangoma thing. I'm doing the training. So why are you not providing for me? I've already accepted. So what else am I supposed to do? You guys brought me here, and I'm here now, but still I'm struggling. My children are struggling. They can't even buy bread. Whenever I phone them, my husband is like trying to hide things from me, not telling me that they're really struggling at home. And my daughter would open up a little bit. So I would like go there and pray and patha and talk to my ancestors, like, what is wrong? And most of the other people who were there, the other 5 trainees, their things were happening. They would, one used to have boyfriends who would supply her needs. She had different boyfriends who would pay for her. And she believed that when she pathas, and these boyfriends will give the money, and they did. And she believed it's her ancestors answering her prayer. So I didn't have that option. A lot of them, their things were happening. They were able to buy food. They were able to buy all the regalia that's needed. One moment they needed this, the next moment you must buy this. There's so many things that you need to buy. And I wasn't getting a cent. I didn't have. So I felt like, you know what? It means I'm in the wrong place. I don't belong here. So I went and I told the Kobela that, you know what, I want to go. Can I please leave? This was, I think, the second week. I said, I want to go. I can't. I need to leave. And also, the place was very quiet. There was no training. I don't know how they called that training, because the only thing we did was to wake up, scream, purge, and then they would hit the drum and teach us how to dance, which I hated, and I couldn't dance. I couldn't get that. And we never even did other things like steaming. No, there was nothing like that. Or being given herbs, or taught about herbs, or taught about what is it called? The bones, reading the bones. Those things were not taught. So I was like, why are we here? What type of training are we getting? And the Kobela used to say, because there was never, when you go to a healer's house, you're supposed to see patients, people who seeking assistance, who seeking help, sick people, all that. There never was anybody who used to come to that place for healing or for asking for assistance. Everybody that walked through those gates, they ended up being a twasa. They ended up being a trainee. So if somebody would come, basically, because we used to all find it on social media. So people would find it on social media and they would come for a consultation, and the next thing they don't leave. Others would leave, others would come back. Like, you are told that you must come back. So they would come back for training. So there was just that. And for me, I used to wonder, like, how come there's no patience? And then one day she said, no, I don't. What do you think I'm going to make charging people 500 rand for consultation? That's not money for me. I don't do small money. I do proper, I do training. That's where the money is. So, and she used to tell us that you guys must also focus on that. It's a business, this thing. Focus on that. But anyway, yeah. And so the days when I told her that I want to leave, there's nothing for me here. Even my dreams are shutting down, and my people, when I see them, they are never there with me. So why am I do? What am I doing here? And I don't even have money, so I just want to leave. And she came up with a plan that no, you can't leave because you've already started. Okay, you know what? Let's rather you graduate because the other five were that I found there, they were due for to graduate. I think in a week. So she said, no, maybe let's rather put you in the same group as them. Then you can graduate the same time as them. That can help you, to reduce the costs. And also, plus, you are ready. I see even in your people in my dreams, they tell me that you must go home. So it means you are ready. You are ready. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll stay. Then I phoned my husband, like, dude, they say I must graduate in a week. Guess what? It came with a bill. The bill that I told you about in the beginning, I thought there was everything. It wasn't. There was by what they call inkomo yakakobela, basically her fee. But then there's still additional. When you do the ceremony in Dwaso, there's a lot. There's a list. Guess what? There was six of us, but each and every one of us had to bring the same thing. Like, for example, okay, a goat for each person, but also each person must buy certain number of cases of alcohol, certain number of cases of cold drinks, certain number of packets of biscuits. So it was a repetition. All six of us had to contribute and not buy. Like, it's not like you buy, no. She gave us a budget, like told us, okay, for Intwaso, each and every one of you, it's 10,000. Like, what? I already paid a fee, and now there's 10,000 for this 2 days of Intwaso. There was something else again. Now we had to raise the money. And by that time, I just wanted to finish. I just wanted, because there was nothing different, nothing I learned, nothing. And that food that I told you about, that I had that food of mine that was painful and swollen and what, it was still there. And I had to crawl. And, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this. Remember, we have to crawl everywhere. You don't walk. You only walk when the Kobela is not around. When the Kobela is around, you have to crawl. I could never. I could never. I struggled. I struggled with crawling. I tried everything, and the other trainees, they always shouted at me that I'll put them in trouble because if I'm not crawling the right way, everybody will be punished. Or if I'm too slow when they are moving, everybody will be in trouble. But I couldn't help it. I tried, and to show that I tried, I actually had holes in my knees. I had holes, and there was pus, and my knees were rotting. And I tried to make a plan. I took a cloth and I cut it, and I make like knee pads, and I would wear those knee pads thinking, okay, this will help me at least to be faster and to catch up. No, they didn't. Instead, they made my knees swell even more, pass even more, infection, everything. I went and I showed the Kobela. I said, I've tried everything. Please look at my knees. She was shocked. She said she had never seen anything like that. Why are my knees like that? I said, I don't know. And then she said, maybe I'm crawling the wrong way. I don't know what is the right way of crawling. I was just crawling. But my knees were rotten. And then, okay, fast forward. Oh, also, some of the people that were trainees there, they used to say that in the house, they used to see umantindane. That's what they used to call it. I've never seen it. Everybody, they used to have conversations and, yeah, we are so scared. It's there, what. Luckily for me, I never saw such. I was just floating there. Then the time for Indoso came. I remember I had nobody.